To begin this morning, close up on one of tonight's leading contenders at the Tony Awards, the musical Ragtime. Here's Mo Rocca.
Well, I mean, the Gilded Age had a lot of problems, but they did know how to build.
Yeah, they did. They did. They really did. Beautiful.
For Tony Award nominees Brandon Uranowitz, Caissie Levy, and Joshua Henry, the Morgan Library, built by financier J.P. Morgan at the turn of the 20th century, represents the grandeur of the Gilded Age.
Do you all think that this period in American history lends itself especially to drama?
Yeah, there was just like a lot of change happening.
Yeah.
And I think with any change comes conflict, and with conflict comes drama.
That drama is what drives the revival of the musical in which the three star, Ragtime.
People called it Ragtime.
For people who don't know the show, what do you tell them Ragtime is about?
I would say it's about three distinct groups of people coming together in America and the way that in their individual pursuit of the American dream for themselves, the way it changes someone else's pursuit of their American dream.
We can never go back to before.
Pursuing their American dreams are Mother, played by Levy, a wealthy suburban matriarch.
Make them hear you when they hear you.
Coalhouse Walker, played by Henry, a successful ragtime pianist.
And we're gliding far away.
And Tate, played by Uranowitz, an immigrant from Eastern Europe.
We'll go down south and see your people.
The original production, starring Brian Stokes Mitchell and Audra McDonald, opened in 1998. Sunday Morning interviewed its creators, including the late writer Terrence McNally.
This show is very much a return to the tradition of people singing about big emotions, primary emotions. It's a very noble show. It's a big story. It says, here's my heart.
I think that's one of the big successes of this book and this story is that it catches people at their extremes.
Well, when he is old enough, I will show him America.
At the beginning of the show, Coalhouse Walker firmly believes in the promise of a future with the woman he loves and their infant son.
One of the heartbreaking aspects of that joyous moment is we're in around 1908,
right.
And you're like, wow, how can this black man and woman be so hopeful about what they don't see?
That hopefulness is conveyed in the show's best-known number, Wheels of a Dream, sung by Henry and Nichelle Lewis.
On the wheels of
Joshua, were you familiar with Ragtime? Was this sort of on your wish list?
Yeah. In 2002, when I was at the University of Miami studying musical theater, it was one of the first cast recordings I came across. I remember being in the music library listening to Wheels of a Dream, and I remember thinking, I want to be a part of epic storytelling like that. I want to be one of those performers that makes people feel deep feelings.
Make them hear you when they hear you.
Working with writer Terrence McNally to adapt E.L. Doctorow's novel into a musical were lyricist Lynn Ahrens and composer Stephen Flaherty. While studying at a music conservatory, Flaherty was in a ragtime band.
We had a terrible name. It was very long. It was called the Fleeting Moments Waltz and Quick Step Orchestra.
Oh, try saying
That's
that 10
catchy,
times.
I know. We played the music of America from 1890 to 1920. So I had all of this music at my disposal in my DNA.
Meanwhile, Ahrens got her start writing for the beloved 1970s educational kids series, Schoolhouse Rock.
We the people, in order to form a more perfect union,
That's Ahrens herself singing the preamble to the Constitution.
Did that get you thinking about America in a way that informed the work on Ragtime?
I'm sure it did. Great American Melting Pot, for instance, you know, my grandmother came from Russia, da-da-da-da.
A satchel on her knee. My grandfather had his father's cap he brought from Italy.
It talks about the immigrant experience. It's very close to Ragtime in theme in a weird way. It started preparing my heart to talk about those kinds of stories, yeah.
Both Ahrens and Flaherty feel that this revival is resonating more deeply with audiences.
We've worked together for so many years and we've written so many shows, but this one, it's its third time on Broadway, and this one I think is the most emotional of all.
You know, the first time around, it got decent reviews. This time around, it's unanimous raves.
Yes.
Is that just about the performances and the direction, or is it maybe about the show? Maybe it was ahead of its time, or what? What is it?
I think it's all of the above.
All of the above, absolutely.
I think at this particular time in our country's history, we're about to turn 250 years old. And just to do this particular piece that's about what does it mean to be American, and it really examines that.
Caissie Levy and Brandon Uranowitz see parallels to today's world.
I think why Ragtime is having a moment right now. You know, our world and our country, it's very fractured right now. And the themes and the stories and the characters in Ragtime are represented out in the street.
I play a Jewish immigrant from Eastern Europe, but I think so much of the immigration story is speaking to people right now because of the immigration issues happening in our country literally at this moment.
The show was written almost 3 decades ago and set more than a century before today. But for director Lear de Bessonet, also a Tony nominee, Ragtime isn't the least bit dated.
Ragtime, for me, allows us to reconnect with our deepest feelings about the actual love that we have for this country and how deeply we want it to achieve the promises that it set out to, even if it has not fully achieved them yet. And that we are still believing in hope that isn't pretending that everything is okay. It's holding the pain, but it's moving forward in hope.